What is up, my beautiful people? Hope you're having a great day. Exile451 here again, coming back at you with your daily dose of Reddit happy. Since you liked it so much last time, I'm going to dive back into r/TalesFromRetail again, and I think you're gonna like it. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up button and subscribe for more happy stories from Reddit every weekday. Now sit back, relax, and enjoy some of the good side of working in retail. Most stories on the sub are about the worst of the worst customers. Let's change it up and bring up a bright part of the day. I work in an internet shopping department. People place their orders, we pick the stuff off the shelves, and compile it into bags for them to pick up. We get a lot of crappy customers, but there are some good ones. I have actually developed a relationship with one weekly customer to the point she helped me book a room in the city on my birthday, and we exchanged Christmas gifts/cards. I also stopped by her house on occasion to see her pup she got back in May. So many scratches. Anyway, today we were fairly busy. It is a holiday soon and we're all just working. A customer comes in, we get him his stuff, and he asks for $10 as change for a $100 bill. I offer to help him load and he says no. Then he takes the change and starts handing out the $10 bills to anyone who is in the back room, no matter what. There were 5 or 6 of us. He was telling us how hard we work all year. It was nice, especially considering shortly before that, an awful customer was complaining about a new thing we have to do when checking customers out and how it takes too long. I wasn't there, but I was told she was being a major pain. The new task is to help us not forget stuff when they pick up. Not foolproof, they've still missed stuff, but it's better. It's always nice to have customers who are patient and not rude. I will never forget their name and always do everything I can to make sure they are happy. Well, if that isn't a lesson in just how small things can go such a long ways, I don't know what could be. I mean, that's a $10 tip, which frankly really isn't all that much, and yet has earned this customer so much loyalty and love from all of you who work in that department. That is an awesome story, and it's really nice to see that someone would go out of their way to make sure that you felt appreciated. Thank you so much for sharing. A happy story from a grocery store. I work customer service at a local small chain grocery store. Basically, I stock shelves, bag groceries, and help people out to the car or find something they are looking for. One afternoon, an older lady with an oxygen tank comes in and does her shopping. I help her find a few items and she goes on her way. When she gets up to the tills, she asks for assistance out to her car. I'm happy to oblige because sometimes I get small tips, talking quarters here, and it makes them happy. This little lady realizes as we are halfway to her car that she has misplaced her keys. So we go back into the store, and instead of walking away and helping others, I help her look for her keys. She was practically having a panic attack when she couldn't find them. We have retraced her steps and we're almost through when she decides to look in her purse one more time. She finds her keys in a different pocket than normal. We both laugh. I help her to her car and she goes home. Now, the story isn't quite over. I'm sitting in the bank, super small town, almost a full week later, and some random woman comes up to me. I recognize her from another local business, but can't quite remember her name. She introduces herself and says thanks for helping her mom the other day. She explains that her father has been in the hospital and hasn't been doing too good, and her mom has an anxiety disorder, and that my helping her at the store that day made her feel so much better. Fast forward a little farther, this older lady comes in again and specifically requests me to bag her groceries and help her out to her car. I'm leaving retail soon to go to work in my field of study, and this is why I'm going to miss it. We see all the horror stories of bad customers, but what about the good ones? Well, OP, you've hit right on the nail what the purpose of my channel is, to highlight the good examples of humanity, and in this case, an excellent customer. You went so far out of your way to provide good service for her that you have made a customer for life with that store. And it was just in the course of a normal day. You didn't realize the profound impact it would have in the grand scheme of things. Thank you so much for being willing to help some random old woman just try and find her keys when you could have just easily pawned her off to someone else. You're a wonderful human being, and I hope you're doing well in your new career. How I somewhat kind of saved a man's life. A happy story in the midst of angry rants. Yesterday was my last day being a sales manager at a gym. While I know this isn't necessarily a retail job, I still had to deal with some of the most irrational, annoying customers you could think of. So now I feel like it is okay to post about my job since I am no longer employed there. Anyway, one day a couple of months ago, a woman who was roughly 5'0" comes in to get a gym membership for herself and her husband. She was out of shape and said that her husband was in even worse shape than she was. I estimated her weight at around 225 pounds, which for a 5'0" female is fairly large. It took roughly 3 hours of back and forth with her about prices and why we charged what we charged, but eventually she signed up. Fast forward to last month. She had been coming in extremely frequently and had lost a significant amount of weight, which is always impressive. One day, she walks up to me and expresses the need to freeze her husband's account. He had a massive heart attack a couple of days beforehand and was expected to be in the hospital for at least a month. After freezing his account, she tells me that if I hadn't convinced her to sign up for the gym, then her husband would have died that day. She went on to explain that she needed to do CPR for almost 15 minutes by herself as the ambulance got lost on the way to her house. If this were to have happened before she had been using our facilities, then I believe there would have been no way for her to successfully do CPR for such a long amount of time. On my last day of employment there, yesterday, she walked up and gave me an update on how her husband is doing. He has been released from the hospital and has been at home for roughly 2 weeks now. The doctors don't believe he will have too much lasting damage from the attack, but they aren't exactly confident in that assessment. Working with consumers is always miserable, as I was yelled at almost every day for some stupid reason or another. However, it was the rare moments like this where my job was actually enjoyable. Thanks for reading, everyone. Dang, OP, that is impressive. To have someone come back and thank you for something like that must just be so wonderful to get those, like you said, those rare moments that make your job actually enjoyable. Thank you so much for sharing this, and well done on getting her and her husband to change their lives to be even healthier. Hopefully her husband's doing okay, and hopefully you're doing well in wherever you're at now. Paid for a woman's groceries and made her cry. Obligatory long-time lurker, first-time poster, mobile, so excuse formatting errors. This happened approximately 2 years ago, right around Christmas. I worked at a local grocery store, and it was pretty busy with everyone getting last-minute items as well as entire meals for the holidays. I had just gotten back from my break and was going to relieve another checker so they could take their break as well. Said checker was currently waiting on a woman who realized she didn't have enough money on her card for all her grocery items. She was getting ready to put some items away when I walked up and asked her what was going on. This is the conversation that followed to the best of my memory. Coworker, her card has insufficient funds. Customer, I'll just put some stuff back. Me, seeing the total that remains after she manages to pay with what money she has. It's only like $15 left, I'll get it. Coworker to customer, what items do you want to put back so she, me, can grab them? Me, no, I mean, I got it. This time pulling out a $20 bill. Coworker, oh, that's so nice of you. At this point, the customer begins crying, saying I have just made Christmas better for her family and that she will pay me back. I tell her it's not necessary, that it's holiday season and it's my Christmas gift to her. She gives me a hug. Her daughter comes in, who also works at the store, but I didn't know at the time it was her mother, crying and gives me a hug as well. 2 weeks later, she comes into the store while I am working and hands me a card. We were busy again, so I wait till my break to open it. It's a thank you card with $20 inside. Next time I see her, I tell her that wasn't necessary. She disagrees, and we end up becoming friends. And that's my happy story for today, because I know most days in retail are crappy. Edit. Holy cow, I wasn't expecting this much of a response, much less to get golded. Thank you to whoever gave the gold. You are a very sweet soul. Well, OP, you're a very sweet soul, and that's why you got the gold, is because you deserve that. Like that woman told you, you made their Christmas. It was a wonderful thing that you did, and yet such a small gesture. It's these small little acts of humanity that make life so much better. Thank you so much for sharing, and thank you so much for being a charitable and great person. Thank you all so much for watching and supporting the channel. It's slow going, but there's still growth happening, and I'm super appreciative of all of you who come here to get your daily dose of Reddit happy. If you like the video, please make sure to hit that thumbs up button and subscribe, as it really helps get a new channel like this off the ground and moving. Hope you all have a great rest of the day, and I'll see you all tomorrow. Until then, I'm Exile451. Stay beautiful, people.